Hey everybody, coming at you live from out in the great wilderness. Now I'm in an area that I don't usually come to, and I wanted to explore this area. It's up on top of a mountain, and it took quite a bit of effort to get up here, but it's worth it. Because look at all, normally when you've seen my videos in the past, the ground is just covered with pine straw or leaves, and if you look around, this place is just very lush and green up on top. And there's an area right over there, right below that where that tree's falling, that's pretty flat right in all that grass. And I think that's going to be a good place to set up my Bugnet shelter. It's funny, somebody had mentioned, I did a Bugnet shelter about 6 or 7 years ago, I think. I don't know, maybe, or 5 years ago, I don't know. But I got a different Bugnet shelter, and all you need is a bug net. You don't have to buy those bug net tents that they sell. You can just make one yourself. And it's funny, somebody had asked about it, and I got to thinking about it, and in the meantime, as they had asked about it, I got to remembering my pillow pack. And that's all I could think of is to name it, because what it is it's a pack with no frame held together by bungee cords. And when you take the contents out, you can use it as a pillow. So I'm not going to lay the contents out over in the grass right there, because you won't be able to see it as much. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you over here. I think there's a spot over here behind this tree that's got some leaves, and I think I'm going to lay it there and pull everything out. And I'm going to show you how this pack is made. And there's down trees everywhere around here. I'm going to pull this. I'm going to set the pack down, pull all the contents out, and kind of explain just a little bit as we go along. And then we're going to set up the shelter. There's a fallen tree right there that I'm going to be using as part of the shelter. You can see the grass behind me, but right here where I'm fixing to set everything is kind of a leafy area. Alrighty, so let's take this off. Y'all have seen this a million times. This is how I carry my water, because I'm quite a walk from the creek. So I got that. Now let's see how this thing comes off. And what it is you may get a kick out of this. These are 2 bungee cords that I have covered with straps. And the way these come off is you pull one, and they're crossed, because if you had the bungees coming straight down, they would be constantly spreading out. But with them crossed like this, they I don't know, they hold better. You don't have to worry about them spreading out. So the way you get this off is you pull one of them off, just like that, and then you pull the other one off. Okay, and there's your pack. All right, now let's put this camera here. All right, so let's lay this thing down, give you a little bit of a better look at it. Let's lock that down. All right, so what this thing is, okay, here's a pack. It's got some straps right here. The bottom is rolled up. I'll explain more about that in a minute. The top is held together with these loops. All right, and then you've got these crossing over like this. So what I'm going to do is here's 2 of the loops. I'm going to pull it apart. 2 more loops. I'm going to pull it apart. And then the top of the pack just opens up, just like that. All right. So for now, these other straps, I'm going to leave these straps connected, and we're just going to pull the contents out of the pack. Okay. This is a Cordage Kit. All right. Of course, Hidden Woodsman. This is food and coffee and cook kit. That's for tomorrow. I'll put that over there with the water. I ain't going to use that tonight. Climate Static V, insulated. More about that in a little bit. This is a sleep shirt, because I've been sweating like a pig in what I'm wearing. I'll put that on for sleeping. I'll lay that on top of everything. Kind of see where that is. Let's back that up a little bit. Let's see what else we got in here. Okay, grill. That's a cooking grill for tomorrow. Let's pile it over there. Okay, Snug Pack jungle blanket. It might be a little warm and humid right now, but later on tonight it could get cold. And then this is my bug net. This is just a plain old military cot type bug net. Alright, keeping the bugs out. In the summertime it lets the air in but keeps the bugs out. I have a Basha tarp for the roof. It's not really supposed to rain, but if it does, I'll be protected. And on top of that, it keeps the dew off of me. If the dew gets on you in the morning, you'll be cold. Now what this thing is right here is if you, I'm going to leave the bungees attached. Well, actually I'm going to unhook the bungees, because on this side right here, the bottom of the bungees, you unhook them, and I've got 2 of them connected. And then over here, I've got 2 of them connected. Alright, and what you can do with this thing is these straps hold it into place. And you can undo these straps here, and you can roll this thing out. And it can be a mini bed. Let me lift the camera up so you can see a little bit better. So now you can probably see this a little bit better. This thing has got clips and it's got grommets all over it. And these grommets are for where you can either hang this up as a chair or a mini hammock of some kind, or one end is open. It's a tube. So if you had to, you could use it for a mini stretcher slash bunk bed. But the way I use it is I take the ends of it like this, and let's see which way. Okay, you turn it around this way and you roll it over just like that. And what you do is you roll it over until these match close, and that's what you put the bungee cord through. Now, you take these, this is how I'm going to make it as a pillow. This is what holds it together. And you can stuff pine straw or leaves in it, or extra gear, and use it as a pillow, because you've closed up one end, and you got one end open. All right. So let's set up a ridge line first, and then set up this pad that I've got made. And what this pad is if it gets too hot in the summertime, this has a membrane sewn into it to keep you from sweating too bad. And then the other side is a heavy canvas. It's not wax, but it's been sprayed, or should I say treated. And it's got some grommets. You could do some other things with this pad if you wanted to. So, let's see. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go through the Cordage Kit first before I lay that. And I'm just gonna lay this directly on the grass over there, because I'm gonna clear all the sticks out, because a lot of times you'll separate the duff and the leaves and the pine straw to try to have a nice cushy area to put your mat on. But with that, the grass over there is just excellent, because I'm just going to set it on the grass and it's going to mash it down for one night. You know, I'm not going to kill it over one night, but, you know, and when I remove everything tomorrow, that grass will spring right back up, and it won't be no big deal. So, in this kit, yeah, you'll probably notice all of a sudden I've started showing a lot of the hidden woodsman stuff. The reason is because, like I said, just like the Tarava Scramma and the Mora, if enough people talk about these items, there's got to be some truth in how good they are. And so, you know, I gave them a chance and I got some of this stuff, and the hidden woodsman stuff, the quality of it is unbelievable. So this particular bag here I have turned into my Portage Bag. Oh, wait a minute, I got my fire kit in it. Where's that? Fire kit. Oh, I want to say something real quick about this. Neck knives. When you have neck knives, you wear them around your neck with a paracord. I've been experimenting lately with webbing. And see, this is kind of cool because it's very, very comfortable. What this is it's a polyester cord, and mule tape is only white. But it turns out that you can either buy some stuff that arborists use for trees called guy lines, and for supporting trees and pulling them over and manipulating them, and it turns out that they're an olive drab looking color. That, or you can just buy from, I think it's called Sergeant Knott's on Amazon, that he sells different colors of this stuff. And they sell these little bitty Fastex clips for making paracord bracelets, but it just happens to be 1/2 inch is perfect for this webbing. And so you could actually, if you wanted to use this pouch as some sort of a kit of some kind, you could hang it around your neck, or you could, you know, even set it in your pocket for things that you definitely don't want to lose or destroy. And but that's my fire kit. We'll talk about that tomorrow when I go to make a fire. But I just wanted to show you that, you know, if you buy this little kit here, it does come with these loops, but it does not come with this. I made this. So, you know, if you think you like a little kit like this, don't get angry when you don't get this part, because you gotta make it yourself. So, anyway, back to my kit here. What I've got in here is I've got some mini rope. I think it's a 3/16 olive drab rope. I got 2 hanks of it, and then I've got some clips for holding up. Whoops. I got some little plastic clips for holding up my net. And then I've got paracord here for my guy lines. So I'm going to throw everything in a pile right here for now. And we're going to go and set up a dual ridge line. And you'll understand in a little while why it's a dual line. So let's go over here and set it up. Now the way I'm going to set this line up is there's going to be 2 ridge lines, because you want one that you can get access to for your clips for your bug net, and then the upper line is going to be what supports your tarp. All right, and that is in general the way you would do a bug net. So let's take this. All right, I'm going to tie it off right here. And a lot of times what I do is I just do a simple bow line. I'll go in and around, because that way what I can do with it is I just pull it up against the tree just like that. Alright, that way I'm cinched up real good on a tree. And now all I'm going to do is I'm simply going to go to the other end and go under and over. And then I'm going to tie off on this end. Alright, so the concept behind this shelter here is quite simple. 2 ridge lines about a hand apart. Can you see that? There's one of them and there's the other one. Right. So the next thing that you want to do is any of the, dang, tripod's crooked. Any of the sticks and things that are in ways, you want to remove them. You want to get them out of the way. Oh, I've been battling a real bad case of poison ivy on my left hand. So I'm very selective about what gloves I'm wearing, because the gloves that I'm wearing, I'm going to wind up having to, I don't know, soak them for a while or wash them or something. But I got into some poison ivy real bad, and my left hand was just about swollen up from it. And I finally got it licked. So, all right, let's pick up some of this stuff here. Alright, so I got all the sticks and the branches cleared out, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to center my ground pad under it. Alright, that looks pretty centered. Now, next up is my bug net. Now that the mat is on the ground, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bug net and I'm going to clip the bug net up on the bottom ridge line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Climate Static V and I'm going to put it inside the bug net so I'll be completely encapsulated. So, let's do that. Now normally I don't like laying on the ground in the summertime, but it's not necessarily the dead of summer yet. Usually I like a raised bed or a hammock, and I use hammocks quite often, but The only time I sleep on the ground is when I'm completely surrounded by a bug net, because the ground is still just littered with spiders and sometimes scorpions and all kinds of ants and bugs and things I don't want on me. If you can see here now, what I've got is I've got the bug net tied up on one side. So the next step now is what I'm going to do is get out the climate mat, and then I'm going to lay it inside the bug net. Now this is supposed to be a self-inflating mat. Put the bag away. I always put any of these bags that I'm using, I always put them in my side pockets right here so that I'll be able to keep up with them. Now you're supposed to be able to lay this thing out and it self-inflate, but I usually give it a few puffs. Now just set it on here. And see, as I get in and out, I'll just reach up and clip and unclip from the top. Let's bring you over here a little closer. See how I've got the mat in there? Switch angles over here. See, what I do is I crawl in and I've got it, instead of clipping at the bottom or underneath me like I used to do, I clip it at the top now. I'll pull this over and overlap it on the ends. Oh, wait a minute, let me show you. In case somebody asks, you can look at this and you can freeze it. That's the number. Alright, you can pause the video right there if you want to get the number off it. It's called Insect Bar. It's a nylon netting. That way it'll keep me from having to type those numbers 1,000 times in the comments. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I throw this part over and it overlaps. And then I just take a clip and put a clip on. Alright. Same thing with this. What I'll do on this end is I pull it over, I let it overlap, and then pull this over, and then clip it. Now with this, what I'll do is I'll pull this over in the middle, and put a clip on it, and pull this over, and put a clip on it. And see, that way when I get in and out, all I got to do is I got to get in and out, and I can pick this thing up, and I can reach up and clip it, and I'll be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and partially clip this one. Now generally that seems to work the best. That works the best right there. Just unclip them two and then hop inside. Now on the tarp, what I'm going to do, just like before, take the bag off and stick it in my side pocket here. And then just unroll it, throw it over it, and then tie the guy lines off the paracord. So now I just take paracord and tie it off on each end. I love thorns. tie the paracord off on each end and get me some guy lines. So I got one end tied off, now I got to tie off the other end. So now the next step that you want to do is you want to make sure that your ground mat is underneath the mat you're going to sleep on. Take my blanket, throw it in there. Now I'm going to disconnect this. Throw my blanket in. Take my shirt. Put it in there. Now everything that's left, except for some more cordage and the old feed bag, goes into this. And no matter how lumpy it may be, it'll still be like a pillow. Anything to levitate my head, everything, gloves, bungee cords, everything. Even a water bottle. Take the old feed bag and hang it somewhere. Try to find a good spot. It ain't got to be that high up because we don't have bears, but we do have raccoons and possums, so I don't want this stuff in my shelter with me. Can you see me? All right, I'm just going to throw this rope up over that branch. There we go. That's how you do it. I'm going to take the old feed bag here. See if we can tie this up. And hopefully, nothing will get at it. Well, let me re-edify on the black bears. We do have black bears, but we don't see them very often. They don't come around, which is even more of a reason to do this. So let's ease you back up to the tree. There you go. Go tie it off. Now I got it up there. Like I said, my main worries are critters, raccoons, possums, I guess maybe even rabbits, I don't know, or mice or rats. So it's up there, it's not in my shelter. So I guess the only thing left to do now is crawl into the shelter. Oh, I want to walk around it for a minute first. See if I can find it on camera. Look, that's pretty camouflaged. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a complete circle around here so that you can kind of see how those colors blend in with the environment. This is definitely not a survival shelter. It's more of a camping, survival, backpacking backpacker hiker type shelter because it blends in almost like a stealth shelter. There, and that it blends in pretty good right there. You can kind of see that line drooping where the tarp is. There's another view of it. Walk around here and take a look at it. I like for my shelters to blend in. Blends in really good right there from this vantage point. Let's jump in. Take my machete off. I have to take my boots off. We'll see how we're going to crawl into it. Now I think these other ones, I think one should be enough here. One clip. Now I'm sitting inside here. It's a little hot in here right now. Take that shirt off. Take that hat off. Well, do-rag. Got my mop. Got kind of sweaty. On my chain here I got a whistle and a couple of little mini lights. They're right here on my neck, so I got two of them, two lights here. My buddy Oregon Mike gave them to me. I like having them with me. I don't want to have to look for them. So let's lower this down. Let's reach this up here. And clipping that up at the top. And then I'm going to clip this one up at the top. Now that right there, that is going to be nice and cozy. Alright, it's going to be dark pretty soon. And I'm exhausted. I actually worked today. So, I'm very, very comfortable right here. I think I'm losing my train of thought. Oh. I got my light right here for in case I need it. Two lights actually. I got two little ones here. What was I going to say? Oh, I know what I was going to say. For people that generally sleep in a tent and they like to sleep in a tarp, under a tarp. It's okay. I like sleeping under an open tarp in the winter time. Put out a bivy sack or lay out a tarp and put a sleeping bag on it. But in the summertime, I personally do not see how anybody sleeps under an open tarp in the summer. I do not see how. It just, at least here in Georgia, it's not possible because there's ants and spiders, and we got black widows, brown recluses. We got everything here, and you know that's not good. So I think the wind's picking up. But that's great. I'll take advantage of the wind. It'll be nice and cool in here. But anyway, buy a bug net. You know, these bug nets are great right here. Oh, it feels good. You hear it? That's that wind picking up. Anyway, I'm very, very extremely tired. I don't even know if I made any sense of what I said. Yeah, I don't even know. I'm so tired. Alright, enough of that. I've had enough. See, I've lost my train of thought. We shall see you in the morning. Did y'all hear that? I wake up, I pull the camera out. You hear it? I wake up and pull the camera out, drop the bug net so that I can film the morning scene. And right there, a big hornet comes in, swimming around under the tarp. There he is. Well, the bug net worked good last night, and I actually slept pretty good. This was a little humid because it rained. As it started sprinkling, the more it sprinkled, I ran out and grabbed my food bag and brought it in. And in my opinion, I think that's okay because it kind of masks the smells. And I don't know if the animals will be real active in the rain anyway. At least they haven't been in my experience. But I was going to make coffee this morning and oatmeal before I left because I got to go to work later today. I'm on second shift. But there's a huge storm coming. And I think I'd rather just pack up and leave. When I get home, I can do without coffee. I had this pulled up earlier. Without displaying my location, because I can't. You can see maybe the red. There's blue, yellow, and red, and it's like the red is pretty much heading for me. So I don't want to get caught in that, but I don't think you're not really going to miss anything. But I remember in the past people have requested, like a lot of people had asked, there's two different things people asked for. People asked for, they said, how come you don't ever film overnighters? And well, the main reason is because when you're on camera, you're in your own mode. You know, you got to be on. You got to be smiling, laughing, kidding around, and in a good mood. And and generally what I'll do, hear that starting to rain. My camera's not waterproof. But anyway, you got to be in a good mood, and you got to be ready to film, and you know, all this kind of stuff. And so generally what I do is I'll set up a shelter or cook a meal, and that's it. The video's done. I turn it off, and then it's my time, you know, and I can burp and fart and scratch and move around camp. I do what I want to do. But you know, when you do an overnighter and you film all of it, when you get up in the morning, you know, like I am here, I got a headache. I'm in a bad mood. I don't feel like talking, you know. But you know, y'all are here with me with the camera, so. But anyway. And then, oh yeah, the other thing is people had asked, how do you break down camp? And so it's like, well, I'm not even gonna fool with the fire today because I chopped a little bit of wood yesterday and hid it under here so it'd be dry, but I didn't realize there was going to be this amount of rain coming in, and I need to go in and get out of here. But they asked, how do you pack up camp? So, you know, I guess I'll show that. So it'll be knocking out two of them, you know, an overnighter and how to pack camp up. And I guess you're probably curious as to how everything's going to roll up and fit in this odd looking pillow thing. But I put some stuff in here, and it's not real soft, but it did what it was supposed to do. It elevated my head up. And you know, all in all, this was very, very comfortable last night. How many minutes? I've already filmed 4 minutes. Take going. All right, well, I got to get up and get out of here before that huge storm comes in. I don't want to get caught in it, because I hiked in a little bit further than I wanted to. I hiked in about 3 miles because I wanted to come up here. So, all right, let's break down camp, and because I got my water bottle in here, I'm just going to drink some water, and I'll make coffee, you know, in the next video. All I had was coffee and oatmeal. That's not no big deal to most people, except for Dennis. Sorry about that, Dennis. But I did bring oatmeal. Alright, I had to get out of my sleep shirt. That sleep shirt, on the inside of it, it's got these weird looking squares, and they're meant to keep you warm at night. I don't want to wear it during the day, especially when I'm up moving around. Because whenever you're sitting still, it's a little different story. Got to put on my do-rag. That'll get me in a better mood. I don't know why, but whenever you're moving around and you're sweating and you're stinking, little bugs and things are attracted to your sweaty hair. So I like to go ahead and put my do-rag back on. Oh, and it looks cool. Now I want to show you something here. See this? See that right there? That is perfectly safe to drink. Let's go over here and look. There's even more over here. See that? Now you can't stir it up. There's some sediment at the bottom. But if you don't stir that up, you can dip a cup right off of that and drink it. Or dip it off and make coffee out of it. Alright. So first things first, I'm going to undo the Bugnet and then go from there. The last thing that I'm going to undo is the tarp. Alright. Actually, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the blanket and the pad. Alright, there's my water. That's going to be separate. I'm going to have to drink some of that. See if I can pull all these out. Alright, got all my bags here. Now there's a Snug Pack jungle blanket bag. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my jungle blanket back in the bag, because that right there that's just the first step in alleviating the bulk. Alright, I got my jungle blanket put in. So now what I got to do is I got to find, let's see, oh, I left that one in my pocket. I'm going to undo my static climate V. Real quick, like I want to come out here for a minute. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I just want you to look around. Now as I jumped up, it got a little bit lighter out there, but the sky got real dark. The mosquitoes are eating me up. They're eating me alive. So, it's hot and humid, but I'm going to go ahead and put my long sleeve shirt on because the mosquitoes are killing me. Mosquitoes are terrible out here. And this is really the only defense against them, is by covering up. You know, unless you want to spray down with a bunch of spray. And who wants to do that constantly? But, of course, that's why I had the Bugnet last night. So, let's see. Yeah, next up I'm going to fold up the Climate Static V. I got this in a nice, neat package. This self-inflating mat takes forever to decompress. But what you got to do is you got to roll it up and let it come out the other end. That's why I like those foam mats so much better. These do pack down less. Now normally, like whenever I bring my Alice pack, I will just bring a foam mat and attach it to the bottom of the pack. But I was trying to compress everything because of this type of pack I was using. So let's see if this thing will fit in here. I may have folded it up wrong. I always do a much better job when I'm at home of folding things up. But I'm just trying to get the bulk out of it. Just kind of compress. What you want to do is you don't want to really compress it with a string. You want to kind of put your hand over it and then just kind of cinch it up like that. You don't want too much pressure on it. In other words, you don't want to pull it tight with a string, pull it tight with your hand. Alright, so there's two things compressed right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move everything, I'm going to lift up this net and I'm going to move everything underneath the net and I'm going to set it all on this pad. So the next thing up is the bug net is going to go back in the bag. If I can find the bag. I think the bag's, there it is. Yeah. It's in an actual bug bag. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these clips off. I'll throw them back in my little cordage bag. Now the wet cordage I'm not going to put in this bag. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. Let's see. Now these have a ribbon. The bug nets have like a ribbon on them, and the best knot for these bug nets is just a common bow knot like you tie on your shoes. Because that way they'll slide on the line wherever you want them to slide. Keep you from ripping them in the night. You can just easily undo them like that. Now, man, that bug net just keeps disappearing. I mean, the bug net bag. Maybe it's inside it. And see, that's the problem with that thing being a different color. As soon as I find it, I'm going to cram it in there. There it is. Alright, so let's see if we can cram this thing in here. Everything's sticky from the humidity, so it's making it hard to do. Alright, now I've got things a little bit more under control here, so what we're going to do, I'm going to take the bag, see if we can lay the bag back out. Alright, I'm going to put, they didn't use the cook kit, coffee, oatmeal cook kit, so I'm going to put that down in the bottom. The grill, didn't use it, let's put it back in here. Cordage Kit. Jungle blanket. Static V. Or self-inflating mat. Let's see. Net. Now I'm not going to put the machete or my water bottle in there. I'm going to carry that separately. My shirt. So what I'm going to do now, let's see. What I'm going to do now is I'm not going to wear the gloves, I'm just going to go ahead and put them in. So what I want to do now, set this, I'll pull this back where it's kind of dry, set this here, put these things here. see what we got left. Just this mat. So I'm gonna take this mat and just wad it up. I'll put that in there. All right. So let's move this to the side, and then I'm gonna show you how I go about taking the tarp and the cordage down. And I hope it doesn't rain on me while I'm doing all this. Well, I'm gonna lay this down first. And I'm gonna cross these. And I'm gonna grab 2 of these. See these loops up on top? Well, actually, I'm gonna grab all 3 of them. It ain't pretty, but it works. Now this one from this side over here, I cross over so that I've got that X that I like. Take all 3 loops right here. And go through all 3 loops. Because the only thing left will be the tarp and cordage, and I can either wad it up and put it in, or I can either wad it up and put it in the top, or if I have to, I can just carry it in the bag. Alright, so now I've got my machete strapped back on me. Alright, I got my long sleeve shirt, I got my do-rag. Right here at the base of this tree, I got my water bottle, my pack, all ready to go, and the bag for my Basha tarp. Now, the way you want to break this thing down whenever you've got, oh great, I just seen all that. Now the way you want to do this, let me back you up a little bit more. The way you want to do this is you want to leave the ridge line and undo the guy lines and let the tarp just drop. All right. Nothing like wet cordage. Alright, so what you want to do is just let this one end drop. And then you just go to the other 3 corners and undo all them and let them drop. That right there. Then we'll go to the other side and undo it. So what I'll do now is I'm going to let that kind of sit there for a minute, and I may beat on it some more, and when I pull it off, I'm going to turn it upside down. Alright? For right now, I'm going to go and get my 4 guy lines off. Now, as I pull off this wet cordage right here, I just sort of wad it up in bundles and just sort of wrap around like that right there. And what I'll do with them is I'll put them in my side pocket right here. Oh, there's something in here I was going to show y'all. It's a knife. I'll show you on the way out of here. I got to get this stuff done. Dang, the sky's just getting darker and darker. As I'm shaking it, it's shaking the tree and making the rain come down. I hope all this humidity is not bad on the camera. So what you want to do with this thing now is you want to pull it off. And you want to fold the wet side in. Instead of laying it on the ground, use your ridge line to help you fold it. That's one of those little tricks where instead of laying it on the ground and getting it further wet, you use your ridge line to fold it over. Now the tarp is wet, but that helps it from getting even further wet. See if I can somewhat get it into this bag. Now when I get home, I'll take this out and I'll lay it out in the basement, or I'll wait till a dry day and hang it outside. When you put stuff up wet like this, never, never, never leave it like this. Never. That is just not a good idea. All that's left now is going to be the ridge line. Let's see. I got to get this untangled. Yeah, just like that. See, I got that. I got that X that I like to have. So that's the last of it right there. So y'all have seen me make coffee 1,000 times, and I've set up camp over the 10 years I've been on YouTube. That's usually what I film, is how to set up these shelters. But honestly, I've never filmed breaking down camp. But you know, that's how you do it, and it's kind of the reverse of what you do, just not as much fun because you know you're going home. Now this area that I picked, you can see where the grass is all mashed down. Like, see back behind there where the grass is still standing up? One night of laying on all that grass is not going to kill it. It'll come back. So let's come over here for a minute so you can laugh at me. Man, you know, I really hope this video turns out good because everything's fogging up. There's humidity everywhere. Alright, so let's try to put this backpack on. Everything I've got is in this backpack. So let's see if I can do this from a stand. And I have managed to keep it relatively dry. So let's put this pack back on. Put your arm through it. Put your head through it. And let's see, put your arm through here. And that is it. Crisscross applesauce. And then this I'll just carry over my shoulder. Now I'm going to take a drink real quick and I'm going to show you that knife, and then we're going to close the video. Alright, now my friend Andy from the UK made this knife and sent it to me all the way from the UK. Now he made this thing and because he said he does it for hobbies, and he wanted me to try to push this knife to the limits and see if I could break it. And he said, if you break it, I'll send you another. Well, I don't want to do it. Now, I was going to use this to feather some wood for my fire for the coffee, but, you know, we skipped the coffee. So, but I do wanted to show the knife. It's got an epoxy handle, and what he has done is he's put wood shavings in the epoxy. Isn't that cool? And then this, I don't know what this is. It doesn't really feel like Kydex. It kind of feels like a hard plastic, like a PVC. But what he's done is he's made it to where you could grab it here and pull it out, just like that. Now look how thick that knife is on the back side. It's thick, but man, that thing's sharp. I don't think I could break it, but I don't want to break it. I don't want to push it. So thank you, Andy. That was very nice of you. That was very extremely nice. So, All right, y'all have seen me make coffee 1,000 times, so I hope that's just a non-issue. It's not that big of a deal. But you know something? I'm gonna put that in my side pocket right here so that it won't be bugging me too bad. All right, hope y'all had fun. Some of you that's been asking about camp breakdown, you got camp breakdown. Let's see. Ooh, I gotta go. I knew it was getting darker. All right, hope you had fun. We'll see you in the next one. I got a hike out, got to go to work today, and we shall see you in the next one.